It transitions in real time from outside into this lobby, and then blends in like what I assume is the seamless is an edit between two things. Correct
Yeah,
me if
these
I'm wrong.
movies, the language of these films is, you usually have like wide scopy interstitials of the locations as you move from location to location. Anthony and I are just bored by that convention, and we wanted to do something more kinetic and more dynamic that would whip you from location to location in a way, and just keep the movie moving forward at a breakneck pace. How can we get camera to match what was going on in the storytelling? And it was Geoff's idea to get this drone and use it, and then we had to decide what we were going to use it for. We knew we were going to use it for the interstitials, but there were a few key moments of action that we thought it would also be really compelling. But my favorite use of it in the film is the hospital shot, as it winds its way through chaos outside a hospital after a major sequence where a lot of people got injured, and there's a handoff. I think was it handheld or your Steadicam, Jeff?
Steadicam, yeah,
Yeah,
Steadicam.
it was a whip. It was a whip into the actors that we stitched it into on a handoff from this drone going 40 miles an hour right into Geoff's Steadicam.
I will say this though about the drone, because that drone was so sort of new as a piece of technology, and then also extreme in terms of its effect. The three of us and Steve, we had an attitude of like, well, we're going to have to experiment with this a lot because we're not entirely sure this is going to work. So we came up with different spots in the movie where we wanted to play with it. And I do remember at some point it became a problem with production in terms of like the tension of how much time are we going to spend playing around with this tool that may be creating shots that are never going to be in the movie versus shooting it another way.
Well, but like I said this to Geoff after I first watched it. We spoke, as I said, it's enough in there that to not be like gratuitous and ridiculous, but it's like it is part of the language, and particularly, by the way, in establishing shots in all the cities that are presented in the film, because those, of course, you've got just sort of like precise Chris Nolan kind of aerials to establish a city. But the way you come off a street, come up and over a building, and then it's like Prague, that also was a bit of a dynamic way to introduce each one of these cities. That was like an energy burst that I really...
Yeah, and it hides where you're at until the moment of reveal. Like
Right.
Berlin, it's going down a narrow alleyway, and then it turns a corner and lifts up high and reveals a CIA building to you. Or Prague, where you're zipping along the water, go underneath a bridge, and then turn a corner and get an incredible reveal of Prague. So it just keeps the forward momentum of the storytelling going.